disclaimer. I think you can see the disclaimer.
Yeah.
All right. For those in YouTube, can you see my screen and hear me? If yes, please type a yes. Okay, I think they need some time to respond, and I need some time to hear them. Okay, that's good. William, where are you now? In Perth, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just moved to Perth probably 2 months ago. About 2 months ago.
Okay. So let me just give a little bit of introduction to all of you. William has been in my course for how many years ago? 10 years, 12 years, or 15 years? I cannot remember. Yes. Okay, let me just stop sharing. Yes. Correct. So William been with my course for about I think 12 or maybe 15 years. At the point of time we were still which office have you been to? Have you been to the one in Telok Ayer office?
That's where I first come to know you. So I
Uh
think you're still doing like T-flow kind of thing.
yes, correct.
Yeah,
So T flow. So
the
yeah,
river
yeah,
thing.
correct. So that's the Telok Ayer office. And after that we moved to
The shore,
Shenton
Shenton
Way.
House. Yeah,
Yeah, Shenton House. Yeah.
yeah, Shenton
Then
House.
after
Yep.
that, I decided that I should just retire a little bit or maybe just go on a break. So
Yep.
that's where I shifted the whole operation online. Yeah, so that's how we are right now. So yes, we do have a physical office, but no longer that I'm doing any physical lessons. All the lessons are all online right now. How do you find, from a physical place where we get to see one another versus like doing online, lesson? Like for example, most of my lessons right now will be on webinars.
For me, over
Yeah,
here, I think that's kind of like the perfect solution. That's like the perfect setting for
yeah,
me. It's because I still get to kind of like, you know, kind of like attend lessons and stuff like that, which otherwise I won't be able to if it's physical settings. Of
yeah.
course, I still miss the physical interaction. Sometimes we talk a lot of crabs and jokes during classroom, and
We still do that online, but it's just that you all can't respond much.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I mean the interaction is a little bit different, I guess. Yeah.
Mm, okay. I think that the purpose today, right, is to really try to share your experience. That means that you've traded for with me for so long, right? And you're
Hmm.
also at the same time working.
Yep.
I think what I'm really interested to know, and I think perhaps the rest of the, I mean, viewers are interested to know, right?
Hmm.
How do you manage with working at the same time with trading? I think to answer this question, which is something that I wanted to know, because I wanted to also know how to improve my own, training, course offering, digital products, etc. So I'm interested to know, like, what are you trading right now? All right, what are you using?
Hmm.
Then mainly also your job schedule, and
Yep.
how do you merge your job schedule into your trading? So we just start one by one, lah, huh?
Hmm.
Perhaps, by the way, just to let you know, the questions aren't practiced. Basically, William asked me for a set of questions and I gave it to him. And right now, I'm not looking at the questions. Really, William. I'm just popping my mind right on what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
So if there's things that you wanted to discuss or if things that you feel that you're not comfortable to talk about it, let me know. But
Yeah.
I'm really, really trying to say that for people who are working at the same time, how do they manage and how can I better assist, yeah, the whole process. So maybe perhaps, just introduce a little bit about your job and in
Uh,
relation to trading, yeah.
okay. Um, for myself, I'm actually an accountant. So, basically, right now I'm in this part of the world mostly because my area deal a lot with mining. So yeah, I'm kind of like on the financial side of mining industry at this moment. So there's a lot of time that I probably have to, head off to the sites, which is in a very remote area. I think I sent Benny some photos the other day. There's really nothing
Yes,
out there.
yes. Yeah. Let me
So
just
that's
extract that. Yeah,
yeah,
perhaps. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So that's probably kind of like how my job looks like. And most of the time, although I will be still in the city, but I still need to kind of travel from time to time. So my trading style is a little bit more mid to long term
Mm.
kind of thing. So mostly it's kind of like I would say a typical trading week for me is more of like doing analysis and stuff on the weekend, a couple hours to look at, what I'm going to look at the instrument I'm going to trade.
Mm.
Um, Basically Forex, commodities. I'm into stocks cut the last couple of years
So you're
as
doing
well.
Forex because you started off with Forex for with me, right?
Yeah,
Forex.
yep.
Then commodity would means basically the metals, gold,
Yeah, gold, oil.
oil. Okay. So
Yeah,
basically the suite of instruments that I'm trading. And then you are
yeah,
doing stocks. So I
yeah.
presume that's the US stocks,
Yeah,
Singapore stocks.
US stocks mostly, not
Mostly,
really.
okay.
Yeah, Singapore
Yeah.
stocks, not really. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I come to that later on because I think that this is a common topic that I wanted to address because as you know, right, even recent years, I've been talking about the stocks also. That's really more of a diversion into the array of instruments that we are trading. A lot of people, I mean, thought that we are only doing Forex, but this is not true. As and when there's opportunities, I do talk about Hong Kong, Singapore, US stocks mostly, indexes, crypto, especially BTC, and as well as FX. Yeah. So you're doing these instruments.
Yeah, so this is probably I think there's enough opportunity in
Okay.
this all these areas.
Okay.
I'm not a very I won't say I'm a very active trader, like I need to take trades every day, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I only do it when the setup, I mean, it meet my criteria kind
Mm.
of thing before
Mm.
I I kind of jump in and things
Mm.
like that. So I might go like a week without any trade. So that's fine with me. I'm not really I don't really see the point of having to trade every day, and as well as because of the job nature.
Yeah.
So like most of the
Okay.
time I'll be busy with job. I only really do it when all the box are thick.
Yeah. So for example, when we talk about FX, because for our method, right, it's like a 4 hour trading. That means that every 4 hour we do have a signal. How do you trade? I mean, our signals, and how do you? I mean, basically the question is how do you trade Forex? Because then ours is 4 hour entry. Do we modify the entry like to do it like on a daily entry basis, or you follow the signal and then you do it only, and when the signal comes, only when you're free, then you enter the trade. How do you
um,
manage the FX side?
okay, the FX side, um, probably I start with like I do all the planning on
Mm,
weekends. So basically now is I think I'm not really trading on MT4. I'm more trading on the trading view
mm,
at this moment. So my I set alerts in trading views for the entry point that I'm looking at. So, or any point of interest, like is it a support or is a resistance
mm,
point that I'm interested to kind of like um, trigger an entry there, I will set an alert. So
mm,
that alert get delivered when the price hit there, then I will just have a quick look and see that, does it meet the criteria that I'm looking at? And
mm,
then
mm.
sometimes, when I'm really busy, I just not really look at the alert and come back a couple hours later and see that, okay, is this alert still valid?
Oh, okay.
With our method, I think we are not really in a rush to enter at the point of the the alert or when the trigger happen and things like that. So So yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
pays
think I
to yeah.
yeah, I think I sort of understand what you are doing. But do you mind if, let's say, I share my chart,
Mm,
then because there was a recent gold trade that I was talking about, do you know about the gold trade that I was talking about? I mean, we were all looking to short gold, right? That was
mm,
what I've been talking about this week in the community.
yep.
Perhaps, like to let the our community or anyone who's watching this video to understand more about how they can trade by working part-time. Sorry, trade part-time but working full-time, right? And perhaps you
Yeah.
want to share that. So this is a chart on gold. We were all looking for a short in gold, and as I said, right, then the indicators here, this would be the tech indicators. Okay, so that's
Mhm.
something that I've designed. So what
Yep.
tech does? Perhaps I always say what tech does, but what does tech TAD, which is the indicator? What does it? How does it help you? I mean, since you've been using tech for a period of time right now.
Yep. I for first of all, I think I hope to work part time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, part
All right.
time. Okay.
All right. So okay. So basically, when we kind of like if we roll back a little bit, that's where we kind of spotted that support line that's
Mm,
coming through.
mm,
That indicate that the recent the so-called the recent uptrend
mm.
is there's a support for the recent uptrend. If it's broken, it's going bearish.
Yeah, so let me just back up what William was saying, right? So we were talking about this was that recent uptrend here, if you see the chart. All
Mhm,
right. And then the green level here will be what he meant as the support level. I mean, just to back up that tech isn't giving you the only support level, which I mean, people thought that they can draw, but this support level also means that if it's broken, the trend, that means this uptrend, would have
mhm.
ended already. So this is the purpose of tech. Yeah. So that was what I mentioned. Actually, this week we were all waiting for a shot in gold. Yeah. So how do you, for example, if you are doing this trade, then how do you manage it, right? That means you said you are using Trading View. You said that
Mm-hmm.
you put in like an alert. Okay,
Yep.
so if this is the case, then how would you do to put in the alert, and
Mm-hmm.
how do you like manage this trade in your busy schedule?
Okay. So basically, at the point that we saw that the 4 hour support line as
Mm,
well as the 1 hour support line that cluster together.
yeah, this
So
one.
I'll probably set a trading view alert at that
Mm,
point. Probably
mm,
it depends. Like I will probably set one at the higher 4 hours and one at the lower 4 hours. So the
mm.
first 4 hour will serve as like a warning for
Okay.
myself, and then I will probably have a look and see how price look like
Uh,
when it cross. So probably you will see that there's a red bar that close across that two green 4 hour
mm,
support.
mm.
So there's
Okay,
a
it's
red bar
around
that
here. Yeah, this
yeah,
one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
So that's where it alerts me, and I saw that previously it break through the two support line, and now there's a retracement, and
mm.
that kind of prompt me to kind of have a look into entering the trade at this point.
Okay. And I sort of understand what you mean. So let me just sum up and let me know if I have gotten you wrong. So what
Yep.
happened is that because I can already see this levels here. So let me just probably just do a little bit of a rollback. So this was what happened. Okay, so this was what William said. So this was that support level. So either the support will get supported and then it might just go up. But we were talking about gold could be a little bit weaker. And so he's saying that if it breaks down, all right, and then you will be setting an alert, all right, at this two support level, which is right now a resistance level. Am I right to say that? So alert
Yep.
means that this is the blast sign here. You can just click this because this is what, oh, this draw. Okay, the reason why is draw a horizontal line because then I'm doing a replay, right? But if I don't do a replay, for example, I will just put it here. I could just click this plus sign here And then I could just say that, okay, at alert when for go, when it's like 3342. So William said that there's two levels here. So he will be setting one at the lower level as a pre-warning, and then the other one at the higher level, so that despite his busy work schedule, he will still be able to take this trade and not miss it. Am I right to say that?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. So this is exactly what I do as well, because too many trades already. I don't really like, I mean, take up all the trades, but these are trades I aim for very long. So that's why I also do the same thing. So somehow we converge and then we are doing the same thing. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way that I can take trade. I can't be watching the chart. I mean, my job doesn't allow me the luxury of watching the chart like every
Yeah.
hour.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, that's also one thing that I like to also talk about, because I've trained, and then many of my students, right? They are my also my friends right now. So it has been a really very fruitful journey for me, not only to train, to share my experience and knowledge, but a lot of them went on to become my friend, close friend even. So William is very special, because when I appeal to the community to share, William messaged me and say, "That's the only thing that I could do, which is to talk." so so thanks, William. But
yeah.
just going back, right, to this trade here.
Mhm.
Are you also doing the same thing for your stocks as well? That means that to also put in the alert.
Yes, I do the same for the stock, but somehow I did a little bit different with the stock market.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of use the support and resistance as point to do options. Does
Okay.
that make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Yes, it does make sense, and this is exactly what I'm doing. Any example of the recent? Before we move on to stocks, huh? Just like to know. I just want to get prepared. Any recent stocks options that you are doing? The recent
Uh,
trade?
Let me see. Can't
Okay.
remember.
While you are thinking about it, I'm just asking for the audience in YouTube. If you can, please remember to click the love button, where you give a like to this streaming, all right, to this video, so that a lot more people can be watching and get to know, because I know that there's a lot of videos that talk about how traders succeeded, how they make millions, etc. But I wanted this video to be a little bit more down to earth, all right, to talk about how exactly others manage their busy lifestyle and then still be able to trade. It's not, I mean, yes, I know that we love to see people making millions and love to watch them. But as I always said, right, we need to start somewhere. So it's okay to make $10. It's okay to make $100 or $200. And you guys were saying that you are making Yakun set. So I just asked that how much is Yakun set? Is $7, right? But then some of you can make 40 Yakun set in a day, so that's 280. It doesn't sound fantastic, but this is very good already, because that's almost like a skill that you can use it to keep getting it every day or as and when that you want. Okay, so I see this as a little bit more down to earth. So what I really wanted to do, is really to showcase exactly the things that my students, they are doing, and probably I just come back and compare notes, and then we share, and to understand how exactly they are doing it, how exactly we can be doing better, and how the tools that I've designed, right, can help you guys better. Okay, so for example, let's go back to the gold trade again. But William,
Yep.
what stocks are you looking at, so I can get
Okay.
prepared?
Okay. I think recently I did Tesla options.
Or Tesla
So
option. Okay, we can talk
yep.
about that. Tesla is
Yeah.
also one of my favorite one. Okay, to the
Mm.
audience who is viewing right now, feel free to ask any question. Me and William, we know each other for a very long time. He used. I mean, I'm very happy that he's using my method. He's using my tools. Just now he was just saying that I'm just waiting for the promotion to come in to subscribe. And he's followed me through the years. It's not about just like 1 year, 2 years, but we basically known each other for 10 plus years already. So I really treasure that. But but I also want to know that, for example, if he's looking at this trade here, and of course that this was our trade, the trade in gold went successfully as predicted. In fact, that this red color candle here was our short signal to sell. Okay, so looking at the tools here, which is tag, I think tag is mainly what you're using right now, right, William?
Yep,
Okay.
mainly that.
Okay, so how would you further plan for this trade then? I mean, what would you be thinking about?
I'll be thinking about probably looking at now it get into a lower low.
Mm,
So I'll probably looking at it comes out to potentially have a lower high for another entry.
yeah,
So yeah, so it depends on probably a good point is probably that resistance, the
this
1
one.
hour resistance there. But I
Okay,
will probably look into the lower time frame when it hits there to see whether that is how should I say that is more tagline in maybe 15 minutes that I might have a get a faster trigger that way to
okay.
count.
All right.
Yeah.
That's assuming that you are watching the screen, right?
Yeah, that's assuming I'm watching. But at this moment, I'll probably set an alert on that 1 hour.
Yeah, that means that you
Um,
will set alert here.
yeah, so when it reach there, then I will have a look at how the price is behaving
Uh-huh.
at the resistance level to see whether is that going to get resisted or potentially maybe in the lower time frame we might get a wash and rinse
Okay.
trigger in
Okay.
the lower time frame. It depends on how the price react at that level.
Okay, totally understand you. So what William's saying that he will set alert here. Would it be also checking the historical levels? Like, would you be going back, to check the previous levels to see whether this is a good price level, or are you purely just relying on tag?
In fact, actually, if I kind of set the level on the
Mm,
tagline, the
mm.
two recent low is actually there's already two recent low that serve
Ah,
as
okay.
historical level there. So I wouldn't really be really looking too far back in that
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. So William is mentioning this two recent low here. That's a historical level. So for those who are watching, if you think that tech is based on the historical level, no, it is not. All right, it's definitely not based on historical level. What this orange line here basically says is that if price ever moved up, so this will be the optimal point for a sell to happen. That means that we are not looking at any other point. If we are assuming that the trend is to continue, then based on the current look right now, this is the predicted optimal level, which is the orange level. But of course, that if price goes up, then we might just want to abandon our short already. That's where William said that, okay, if it hits here, then he will be going into the lower time frame to check whether there's any trigger. So one question, William, will it be flipping to the higher time frame to check, or you would just be sticking to that 4 hour and to look for trades?
Um, I think if it's on a, let's say example, if the trade goes
Mm,
over the weekend, so
mm,
every weekend I will kind of looking at a higher time frame to see where the trend is going.
mm,
Yeah, so looking at this one, I'll probably kind of probably suspect there might be a double top
mm.
on the higher time frame
Okay,
in
double
that
top here,
sense.
right? Mm,
Yeah, so
okay.
that's my because day to day is pretty hard for me to flip through every pairs that I'm looking at.
Mm,
So I'll kind of base on what I have done the week before. So
mm,
on the day to day, I mean the 5 week days that I'm on, I'm more potentially focusing more on the execution.
mm.
Yeah, so then over the weekend, then I will kind of look back into my analysis or what have the price done this week to see whether there's any change in my planning and stuff like that.
Mm. Do you spend a lot of time during the weekend to look at the analysis?
Probably couple of hours, I think. Yeah.
Still couple of hours after so many days. I thought you could just spend like a few minutes or a few tens of minutes or like maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, probably I get more experience like yourself, maybe. I kind of still have to kind of look at, yes, I mean it's not as bad as when I first started. Like I could probably spend half the day.
Half a
So
day. Yeah.
now it's like, I kind of flip through and see that, yeah, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, that kind of thing. So, you kind of eliminate the opportunity and kind of like looking at, the next 1 or 2 weeks, what are the, in terms of Forex, what are the big events that's coming up? Like next week, there could be non-farm payroll and things like that.
Okay.
So that might give you some indication. And of course, like, you always give a lot of hints during our
Oh,
lessons. So
okay.
that's where, like, I'll kind of like, okay, kind of take note of that, this and that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
so
so,
these are
so
the basics.
that's the high impact news that we are looking at this week, for example. Coming week, huh? So you're saying that then next week, I mean as in next week, we will be looking at all these, you will check all this, right? So
Yeah.
roughly we have so probably potentially yen or
And
pound,
uh,
and US job, ISM, etc. Yeah. So that's what usually I will do and what I usually encourage. You still do that? Yeah. How does your wife react
my
to you checking and spending time over the weekend and to look at the charts? I'm just
uh
asking.
I mean, it's a good question. Like, like what Warren Buffett always says, that, the most important choice in your life is to choose a right partner.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, my wife always been very encouraging, although she's not really keen into all this at the start, like when we first started.
Yeah.
She went with me to the total IA session,
Oh,
to have,
oh.
have her, both of us went. I mean, she's not very actively, involved, like, in the earlier part of the year.
Mm.
But, you know but the thing is, like, when I start doing, and we do start to see some results and stuff like that, then she got interested along the way. And even now, like, um when we move over here, and most of the time, like, she's watching your session live, and
Oh.
I'm the one who catch the replay.
Oh, I see.
So if you see me, like, on your session, and it's probably her watching it, so she get very actively involved and things like that.
So
So
she can understand when I mention all these levels, tag, etc. She wash and rinse, so she understand.
yeah, she understand. So
Oh,
she
okay.
kind of like attend quite a bit of the lesson.
Oh.
So yeah, so she watching them live,
Does
since
she does she trade as well?
we trade together. She have a small account that she kind of play a bit on her
Oh,
own, but
okay.
most of the our main account,
Yeah.
that's where we kind of discuss over the weekend,
Oh.
what we're going to do and stuff like that, and then, and we kind of execute the plan
Do,
together. So
okay. Do you find that, by getting into the same activities, which is trading or
yeah.
investing, right? Does it enhance your relationship or does it cause you guys to quarrel? Yeah. Sorry. In my sessions, I'm always exploring uh adult relationship. I guess that she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. So,
I guess, if I mean, the more that she's kind of watching
mm,
all the live session and things like that, I think the more we kind of align to what we are looking at.
mm,
Yeah, of course, like, there's a lot of time that, like, maybe we don't agree on an entry point, or we don't agree on selling an option at a certain strike price, that kind of stuff. We
mm,
did we did share why we think that way, and then, we come to a middle ground
mm.
kind of thing. Although, yeah, I mean, everyone have their own opinion. Then we kind of like, okay, let's test it out and see who wins at the end of the day.
Okay. So does it enhance the relationship? Is it more fun? Because sometimes when we get married for long, right, you find that
Yeah,
there's not much conversation going on. It's always quite a mundane. I don't like these. I like these. Let's buy these to eat, etc. So does
yeah.
like getting into investing, trading, does it like, and you have more topics to talk about because you can talk about the fundamentals of companies, the technicals of companies, and then
Mhm.
does it help your relationship?
Yeah, I think so. It kind of like, we kind of have a lot to discuss about. And I think, like, we kind of not to back then, we more concerned, oh, where should we go and eat, should we
Uh,
watch this movie? We honestly, we haven't catch a movie for a while. But we
oh,
get that activity, we feel, I mean, we try, like, someone to break out of this
Red race.
compensate, yeah,
Yeah.
the thing. And honestly, we are looking at this to kind of take ourselves out of the corporate world as well eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, so we kind of very vested to get,
All right.
both are very vested in this process. Yep.
Okay,
So I
that's good.
think that's kind of enhance the relationship, I guess.
Yeah. So I share my personal experience. I think that it is possible to get out of the rat race, or rather, it really depends on how much we want. For example, if let's say you want to make a billionaire, I
Mm-hmm,
think it is not possible unless
mm-hmm,
that you really have a huge capital to start off with.
mm-hmm,
But I've been doing this for as long as I can remember.
mm-hmm,
If let's say you want to really spend, and then if there's a crisis that hit you, and then you want to get the money, or you want to get very comfortable amount of money, right? Such that you can buy a car, you can buy a house, etc.,
mm-hmm,
and you can still go for holidays, you can spend whatever that you want, right? I
mm-hmm,
think that it is not difficult. It's just that sometimes I do find that
mm-hmm.
having a, I'm not asking you to quit the job, okay, but
Yep.
having a job does sometimes, if you cannot manage, you miss out a lot of good opportunities. But when the opportunity comes, then you don't get the chance to enter. So it's not because you are bad in trading or investing or in spotting opportunities. Just that you don't have the right time to do it, because a lot of time you're occupied somewhere else.
Mm-hmm,
Sometimes we need to focus or to find the right way to trade. Yeah, so that's why what I'm doing right now, if you look at all the developments I'm doing, right, I'm really interested to say that, okay, what are the ways that you can do it, which is that you don't need to spend a lot of time, but then you can get constant good money coming in. Yeah. So the first development that I'm doing is the wash and rinse, but realize that wash and rinse you need to react. So the second one that I'm doing is actually tag, which is the one that you're seeing here. It does give you the levels and the trend much in advance, and we can plan something about it. Yeah. So whatever that you did right on the alert is something that I'm doing, and it's definitely really, really very helpful. So right now I'm just going to go into Tesla. All right, because Tesla is one of the stocks that I've like talk about. All right, maybe let me know what you did on Tesla. Options, it's not something that I discuss, but if you have tech, it's very useful tools to do options. Yeah, in fact, that you just need to have tech to do options, and it's fantastic already because I'm doing it myself. Yeah, so
mm-hmm,
I don't only do Forex and indexes or gold or oil. You know that because I discuss all this, right? So I'm actually also using tech to do US stocks, Hong Kong stocks, Singapore stocks, and yes, I do options as well. So let's discuss Tesla. What do you do for Tesla?
Okay. Basically, what I do is if you can go to the week chart, Vinny, sorry.
Okay, I can do that. Yes.
All right. So if you look at Tesla
Mm.
with that the green wick support there that it broke previously.
Here you go. This one
Yep.
is the support level that William was talking about. Yeah, he's talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So basically I own Tesla shares.
Mm.
So when I see that the price have first react to that level at the first instant, the first time that hit that level after it break down to that level, it came up to that 362 level the
Yes,
first
correct.
time.
Yeah.
So the second time when it hits there, I sell a covered call
Okay, so sorry,
at
just before that, right, when you say the first time that you reacted, is it this one as the first
uh
time, or is it this
no
one as the first time?
this one the second one as the
Okay,
first time
this
that I
as the
see
first time.
that it
Okay.
get resisted by that
Mm,
line. So the
mm,
second time when it came out, that is this week.
which is this one here.
Yep.
Okay.
So when I see that it's coming up to that level, I did a cover call on my
Okay.
shares
Okay.
at yeah.
Okay, so let me just explain this, all right? I know what William's talking about because I don't own Tesla share, but I also did something about Tesla. Okay, so the green line here, this green line, right, is green line by tech. What this green line says, let me just expand a little bit, right? What this green line says, right, is that Tesla was in this uptrend. Okay, Let me just replay a little bit so to let the rest understand. Okay, so Tesla was in this uptrend here all the way until the early 2025. Of course, then I have to also share that when do you buy in Tesla? Which around which area? Which price around? You don't need to tell me the exact price, but around which area?
It's around the price that when it breaks that resistance line.
Uh,
The red one at the bottom.
this one
Yep.
around here?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I understand because earlier, just last year, I was talking about going long on Tesla, and that was around 170, 180, right? So that was the point. So William was holding Tesla all the way, all the way. He didn't sell Tesla, but when this green color line was broken, that means price actually traded below the green color line. What it says is that this uptrend here, all right, will be broken. That means that Tesla is no longer in this accelerated uptrend. So we are expecting Tesla to probably move down. And I was talking about going long Tesla again at about 180. That was the point that I was looking at. And but at this point here, this was the predicted level of Tesla, right? So we do have two price level to manage with. So William probably held through all this, right, as it moves down. Let me just stop this thing here. So you held through until Tesla
Mm.
was here.
Honestly, I love Tesla, so
Okay.
I kind of looking at buying low for
Mm.
Tesla, and
Yeah.
then I'll just sell cover call to generate income on my
Okay.
stock, my
All
holding.
right.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
Understand.
prepared to sell them anytime.
Okay. Understand. So, covered call means that William owns the Tesla shares, but he sells a call option. Okay. That means that let's say, for example, in a call option, if he sells, let's say, 400. All right. So if this is a sell call at 400, right? So if upon expiry, Tesla price never trades beyond 400, then he will collect a premium. So premium could be that he will collect, let's say, $10 premium for every 100 shares that he owns. Then he'll be collecting $1,000. So he can keep on selling a covered call each time. And if it doesn't move above the strike price, which is above 400, he will just keep on collecting an income while still owning a Tesla share. But if, let's say, Tesla trades beyond 400, then he will have to sell his Tesla share at $400, right? So that's the covered cost strategy. The reason why I find that tech, right, actually just to talk about the design of tech. I design tech and I've been trading tech, right, for the use of options. Actually, I've been doing options for very long already. Maybe for 20 years, for 18 years. Not many people knows about it, William, because this is something that I will never say. A lot of
Mhm.
people thought that I'm actually a FX girl. I started from an FX girl to a FX women, but they didn't know that actually I'm in the options as well. Okay, um, so did you sell a put here this price when Tesla come back down to own more Tesla shares?
Yeah, I kind of sell at below that price, like 180
180.
dollars. Yeah,
Okay.
it never hit that. So yeah,
But you,
I
you
still
will
collect
collect,
premium.
you can collect premium.
Yeah,
Yes.
I still
Okay.
collect premium. It's just that I'm hoping it hit 180 so I can kind of like, gain more share at a low price.
Yeah. The one trick, right, that when you use tech to sell the sell puts or sell call, right, is to give it a little bit more buffer. Okay. The reason why I say that is because tech itself is programmed to detect the price level, the hidden price level that institutional programming, huge institutional uh, uh, programs, right, they are using. That means that these are levels which it's not a historical level, not a it's a hidden levels, right? So it does gives you accurately that level. Okay. So I always said that we need to give it a little bit more buffer. Okay. So I mean my own experience is that let's say this is a tech level here, right? 209. Even though myself, I'm looking at 180, but if you really, really want to own Tesla shares, for example, you want to sell it like a strike higher. That means because this is very accurate. All right. So you might want to sell, let's say, 215 or maybe 220 if you really want to get the shares. Yeah, just as a trick for you. Yeah. So you sold the call here, right,
Yep,
William? Yeah.
yep.
Uh, and do you sell 362 or you sell
No,
362 higher?
I sell about $400 at
400.
30, about 30 delta
Okay,
from there.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, understand. Okay, so when you make the decision to do your options, do you also use tech to help you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I will probably look at, the tag level. Like
Mm,
example, in this example, I see that
mm,
there's a resistance there and it
mm,
get resisted once already,
mm,
a couple of weeks ago. So when the price is coming up to the resistance, I know that, there's probably a good opportunity to kind of capitalize on the high premium when it's coming close to that level.
mm.
So I kind of like sell at 30 delta. I think it's about $400
Okay.
at that point. So I mean, to me, it's a win-win if it get resisted and not get into that price position. I collected the premium
Yeah.
for kind of like for maybe for the time that I kind of lock this in, like maybe 30 to 40 days.
Yeah.
So I collected some premium. So if it does come up to that level, I can make a call whether I get my share call away at $400, which
Yeah.
I bought at about 200 ish.
Yeah.
So that's like a capital gain of about 20,000. So otherwise, when it hit that 400 level, I still have the option to kind of roll out. So I
Okay,
can roll
understand.
up to maybe 410
Yeah.
and roll for another 30 or 45 days to
Okay.
see what happens.
So how do you find tech in terms of helping you in your option trading?
It gives me more confidence in the sense that that is a known level
Uh-huh.
rather than because if you look at the first instant when it hit here,
Oh,
you
this one.
kind of if you look back, there isn't any very clear
This one.
clear clear
Historical levels.
historical level. Although there is some there, but it's kind of like it's not exactly at that level.
Okay,
If you
not
look,
here,
it kind
not
of like
here, not
yeah,
here.
it
Yeah,
kind of like
understand.
gone through that level, and you'll be like suspecting that okay, I'm not too sure whether this is the correct level. If I'm just relying on historical level and things, I will probably think that it will go a little bit higher before I kind of looking at selling cover call in the
Mm, mm,
sense.
mm,
Yeah, but the technology give me confidence that that is probably a known level now that this is somewhere that the downtrend broke and then it might be just a retest coming back up here to kind of
mm,
like give me some confidence of the price did indeed get resisted at this level.
mm. Okay. I want to share something because I designed the whole tax system. And as I said, right, I've been using the tax system, I designed the whole thing, right? It's not something that is available in the books, definitely. The way that we come up with tech is very different. I mean, if you are looking at using tech to invest or to trade, right? I think that you can use it for your retirement. I think your retirement, as long as you don't go crazy about your trades, I think that you can retire and get out of the rat race. This is what I hope to do because I mean that I hope to like be able to guide the students to leave a legacy. So that's my latest wish now at this age. I think we've seen each other grow older through the years, right? You've seen me in my 30s, right, William?
Yeah, I think you never changed much, honestly. I
Okay.
still remember
I've
the way
seen you
that I
in your
see.
have I seen you in your 20s? Did I go through your am I in your 20s life?
I think it's late 20s. I think
Late
I joined
20s.
the class when I'm kind of in late 20s, turning 30s.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I think it's about that time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you are in your 40s already?
yeah, I'm in my 40s.
Okay.
Yep.
So we are in each other's lives in our 30s. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean, when you came to me, I mean, when we were training, that was my 30s, the prime age that I was really training quite aggressively in a way. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, if you are doing this, it's really good because with tech, you do get that right levels. Yeah. So for me, myself, I also traded on Tesla. Uh, First thing was I've shorted on Tesla. I don't own any Tesla shares anymore because I think I remember I told you, right? Did I say I sold my Tesla shares that I bought at 180, 170, 180 when it was here, somewhere around here? Yes, correct. December 2024. And since then, I didn't own Tesla shares. I only wanted to own when it was 180. And so what happened was that when it was here at 200, based on these tech predicted levels, right? This one here, right? I'm just saying that, why it just missed this predicted level a little bit because I could just like use this if it's get a little bit more accurate, right? I could just get in Tesla long again. So I don't think that tech is wrong. I think that probably the big guys were all scrambling to get in, so that's why they just front run this level. I mean, that's what I think, lah, huh? But when it goes to 362, what I did was I actually sell a naked call. I know that this is super high risk, but I'll be able to rescue it, right? So I sold a call, and at the same time, I traded on the CFDs. I traded on the CFDs. Have you done the CFDs also in the stocks, or you just mainly do options?
I guess I mainly do options at this point of
Mm,
time, but
okay.
it's yeah. I haven't really explored into a CFD. Although I know eight caps have some very attractive commission. Like
Yes,
I think they
yes.
charge $2 a trade. That is really
$2 per
low.
100 shares.
Yeah, $2 per 100 shares. So it's a pretty good price. Honestly, I probably have a look at that. I haven't had the time or the chance to explore the CFDs on eight cap at this moment. Yeah.
Okay. So this session is initiated by ACAP. As I said, right, they've been really very interested to grow students' education. In any case, that if you do not know, I mean, for the rest of the viewers who don't know, so ACAP has CFDs on a lot of US shares and as well as a lot of European shares. So per 100 shares, let me just repeat that. Per 100 shares, right? If you were to trade 100 shares of Tesla, then your charge, your commission is 2 USD per way. Per way means that if you open, that's 2 USD for 100 shares. If you close, that's another 2 USD. So in other words, if you are, let's say, trading 10 shares, all right, then this is zero point 0.2. Okay, because every one shares is 2 cents. So 10 shares would be 20 cents USD. And in total, to open and close, that would be 40 cents. All right. So, I mean, you need tech to give you the levels, to give you the trend, to give you the signal. And then you need like a good, cheap broker to execute your trade. All right. So let's come back here. Um, when I shorted on Tesla, so when did I short Tesla? I actually shorted around here, this bar here, all right? So when it was here, the first time that I was hoping that Tesla would break the support level. Now, let's just roll back a little bit to give you the idea. This is how tech predicts levels. That means that tech was already at this point of time predicting that it's going to come here. So we already knew, or rather, I already knew that it's going to come here. So a lot of my friends were trading this, and then we're just hoping that it can break. But the truth is that it didn't. All right, it didn't. The first time I didn't close my trade. The second day I also didn't close my trade. It was only when this green color candle happens and then it sort of like reverse back up, right? Then I close my trade. Again, also relying on the retest. So what just how William mentioned that there was a retest, right? One time, and then second time, this is one of our method to do the retest. So when he said that this was the first time that he saw, And then what happened was that when he saw that it moved higher near this, right? So this is the second time. That's why I asked whether this was the first time. He said no. All right. So this was the first time. This was the second time. All right. Is that so? Is that how you execute? Now, what will you do when it's here, William, for your sell call?
For well, no, I didn't. I only sell the call at the second time it retest.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, as in when it comes down here, right? Because let's say when Tesla comes down here, all right,
Yep.
what will you be doing here? Or would you ignore this tech level, or would you be doing something about your trade?
Normally, if given my schedule, I'll probably hold it probably to the last week of its expiry.
Okay.
Expiry. Yeah.
Mm,
So before I have a look into whether I want to close the trade and open a
mm,
new one if there's
mm,
opportunity, or just if it's kind of like looking at the price is okay and the
mm,
amount of premium and stuff like that, I might roll the trade for another month.
mm.
So
Okay.
honestly, I probably won't. I probably I'm not sure until it reach there. Then I look at how much value I there's left in the cover call. If
Okay.
it's like I already have a profit of maybe over 90%, I might just close the trade.
Okay. So my question is that you are not doing your options trade randomly. You are still relying on the technical signals type from the or the price level from tech.
Yeah, so I kind of waited
Okay.
um for the tech line for the price to get near to
Nearer to the
yeah
tech lines.
to the tech
Okay.
line.
So there's a tech line here. You don't just sell a call here. You wait for it to go up, and that's where you get a lot more lucrative, and you sell it near here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, understand. This is also what I'll do. So this is how important tech lines to me. All right, and then for those people who are doing options, I mean, if you are not too profitable, that's also partly because I think that you need to have the levels. So these tech lines, I'm just do a little bit more marketing here, right? But these tech lines are not support resistance levels. They are not random. They are very critical levels that, as I explained, right, the huge algo they are using. So I've designed that. They're just different. They're just very sticky. So I mean, a lot of time when our students trade that, right, they find that surprisingly it always move to the tech line. Do you have this experience, William? When I make this statement that surprisingly the tech line are very sticky and prices will always accurately hit the tech line.
I thought they are from Alien.
Okay. I'm
You
trying to
kind of
sell
talk.
a little bit more, but I mean, I'm not forcing you, but if you are telling me that it's not June, not accurate, then I have to go and relook at the system,
No,
you know.
they're kind of so accurate that like we always joke that Beanie talk to alien, like to get the
Yeah.
levels. We were like, yeah, how does it happen,
Yeah. So that's the tech line. Yeah. Any other trades that you did recently, except apart from Tesla?
Uh, Let me have a look at my trade
Okay, while William is
record.
looking for trades and then we are sharing how, right? From the viewers, any questions for us? Because I'm about to end the session already because William is about to sleep. He told me that he's in his pajamas, and Perth probably doesn't have any activities, right? So that's why he need to go and sleep already.
After
Watch
se-
a movie and sleep or something like that.
Normally I look at my trade then sleep.
Oh,
No,
do you still have the habit like wake up, look at the prices, then before sleep look at the prices?
okay, it's kind of weird because normally we sleep pretty early, probably
Yeah,
about 10:30.
yeah,
So, you know, with the timing here, the US market open 9:30
yeah,
and option market open 10. So it's a half an hour
yeah,
after the market open.
yeah.
So mainly I kind of like have a look until 10:30 to see how the option market move
Okay.
before I sleep. So it's kind of like my bedtime story,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So, kind of like I kind of looking at, there's any opportunity in the market and stuff like that, in the
Mm,
first hour
okay.
before I kind of like sleep.
So
Then
not look at your wife. The wife also doesn't look at husband or look at market before sleep.
She's just beside me. So we normally have a chat, like, how's the market doing? Then she'll tell me that, recently, like, the hot one is like Circus and Coinbase that
Yeah,
goes up a lot. And, yesterday it just came down quite a bit. So normally we'll be talking about, oh yeah, Coinbase have a wash and rinse, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
Coinbase, I think Circus have a wash and rinse at
Oh,
this moment after it
yes.
closed.
Okay.
So yeah, so another trade. Yeah, so that's another trade we are looking at. Although we haven't done anything on that trade because we are looking at potentially when it come down further, we might
Yeah.
want to sell a put.
Okay. To own it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
a long term put to kind of collect some premium income on that,
Yeah.
just to trade it a
We have to
bit.
wait for a while for tech to calculate the prices. I
Yeah,
think that very
exactly.
soon they will be able to calculate the prices already.
Yeah,
Hence that we'll be able to come up with the prediction of the prices. Yeah. But
yeah.
coin is something which I also just gotten out recently. The reason of getting out of coin is I actually got out here at this resistance level. So this one. So 346. So I'm totally a tech person because I designed it, right? I have to be a tech person. But then 346 was the guide. And
So I didn't got in.
okay. And I actually did a video on that, and I purely rely on tag lines. Yeah. So, this one was the orange line. Some people might see these as a inverted head and shoulder, but to me, that this is the tag line, and once it's above, this downtrend will have ended. So in terms of option strategy, I actually did a few. Okay, so when it gapped up, so what I did was to sell a put at two because I wanted the stocks, huh? I wanted the stocks. So I didn't do 212. But what I did was I actually did 215. But it never make it to 215 lah, huh? But this line is a reference that I always use. Yeah. So that's just to share with you how I did my options. So I sold one here and it expire, and then I sold another time here, and then it just gosh up. So my friend was just saying that, oh yeah, we shouldn't be selling the put. We should just buy the call. That means we should just use all these levels, right, to go and just trade into circles, into a coin, then she would have just made her money for this year already. Yeah. So for those who are not using tag, or are not like knowing which price level or what trend it is, right? Then do explore more into tag, and then to get tag is to do Tor, is to have Tor Pro. I'll talk about that later on. But any trades that you also did, William? We just talk about one
I
more, yeah.
Yeah, I did a cover call on Palantir as well. So I did own Palantir shares.
Yeah, cover call. Okay, here we
So
go.
if you
Mm,
go to the week chart,
yep.
I normally look a lot on the big picture
Mm,
on the stocks,
mm,
like week chart, and the execution is more on like day or maybe 1 hour if I want to have a look at the recent levels. Yeah,
mm,
but the big picture is always on the week chart to
mm,
see where the price kind of is heading.
mm,
So I kind of suspect there's two support line at the top of
mm,
the Palantir. So I sell a cover call at the top as well
mm.
when the price is hitting into that level.
Okay.
So yeah, so current I think yesterday you have a big pullback about
Yes,
five,
huge drop.
yeah, huge pullback
Mm,
for
mm,
Palantir. So I think they've dropped for 140 to probably 130,
mm,
and then after market it kind of recover a little bit, like $5. Yeah.
yes. So there are a few levels here on tag based on the 1 hour. So one is the blue line here. So that's 116. Another one is the orange line here. Just to for the viewers to understand a little bit, right? For the orange line, it happened earlier already. It was a re-entry for us for Palantir. That means that we had a long, that means a buy signal at around exactly around this place here. All right. At when price closed above 89.72. That means that if we see Palantir at 90 or 92, right, around this price here, that was our entry. So you can see how well, right, tech is giving us the buy signal. And the nice thing is that what tech did is to track into this down move, right? And to tell us that this down move is coming to an end by closing above this level here. So all my community, they love the orange line. Okay, then we see multiple orange lines is something they are looking at. Do you enter Palantir again here when it goes above, or your entry was a little bit lower?
No, I did have another position. I have position earlier, but I did have
Okay,
another position in that when it crossed the
this
orange
one,
line.
yeah, the orange
Yep.
line. So that
Yep.
was another buy entry for you. But
Yes.
you had also earlier previous entry.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
earlier
that
previous
is
entry.
the perfect ones. Yeah. So this is the reason why I hope that I mean I told you before, right? I hope that everybody can take my lesson, can take my can use my tools because I'm so proud of it. But I hope that I mean at least to know that you are using it to make money. So something that like what I say, the legacy that I wish to leave. What will you do when it comes inside here? But because this is a support level, right? Because
Mhm.
if you, I mean, when you sell a covered call, it essentially means that you're shorting Palantir.
Yep.
I mean, to translate that into layman's term, right? You're
Yep.
shorting it, right? So
Mhm.
this is the predicted support level here by tech at this moment, which
Yep.
is 116.17. What will you do then?
I might potentially close the cover call.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at if the price that I sold the cover call for and to 115, I think that will kind of realize most of the profit for that cover
Okay.
call. I'll potentially just close it.
Yeah, because you probably sold around 140, something like that. Yeah, that's what you said.
145, I think.
145. Okay. So when it's 116, I think your options would fully,
Pretty much gain most of the profit
yeah,
already.
correct already.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so in a way that tech levels gave you all this for you to exit and for you to enter, and then also gives you that signal for you to exit. So just one question, because right now I'm revising on tech. And what are the some of the wish lists, right, you wish to have?
Wish list I wish to have.
Yeah, on tech.
I have a lot of wish lists. If I could just set my parameters and trade for me, that's great. But I think that's a little bit of a big wish list.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna
if
come. It's gonna come. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if that come to can we realize that, then that is, well, that is a big dream for me,
Mm,
honestly.
mm,
Yeah, but at this moment, I think it works kind of well, for my own purpose. Honestly, like you say that to get off the rat race and things like that, you know, we I think it end of the day tech give us a lot of consistency and confidence in that sense.
mm,
So I'm kind of working towards a kind of a consistent return on my capital. So if we could just achieve 3% return
mm,
on our capital using tech itself, like options or forex trading or what to in totality,
mm.
that will give you like $3,000 a month for every $100,000 capital. So it depends on how you scale
3%
up.
per month.
Yeah, 3% per month is possible.
That means that per annum you are talking about 36%.
Yeah,
Okay. That is that like something you believe that you can achieve with, I mean, with whatever that you're doing right now?
I think I'm working towards that. I
Uh,
think it's achievable
okay.
from how I kind of look at with the combination or using tech for options and for trading.
Yeah.
So I think it's perfectly achievable with proper risk management,
Uh-huh.
and discipline. I think,
Okay.
yeah. do a.
Good news is that I just did a calculation for my friend's account.
Mhm.
Yeah, she hit much more than the numbers you are talking about, 36%. She's hitting about 40 plus with tech. Yeah,
Yeah, it's see that's it's achievable. So
it's achievable.
that
Yes.
give the perfect life example.
Yes, not because I'm training and selling the course itself, but then yeah, so we just did that recent tabulation. So she started using last year, June 24th. So last year, 2024, right? So that's why this year, when it comes to June 25th, I did a tabulation for her, right? Yes, she achieves much more than the 36%. Yeah. Just using tech and just using that for trading, and not many trades that she did. Yeah, but it just kind of because we do get this price level here, right? So we do like uh very much just follow it. Yeah, so that's what she did. Yeah. So to sum up, if there is one thing after trading so many years, right? If there's
Mhm.
one thing that you want to share with anyone who is into investing or trading,
Mhm.
any thoughts here, and what's the one thing?
I think it's probably two things. I
Two
think,
things. Okay.
yeah. I think first of all, we got to respect the market.
Mm,
I think I think for me it's kind of like when I first started trading, I kind of feel that I, I think I kind of get a kind of a big success, I would say.
mm,
Like, I was taking like 10 grand a month, kind of like earnings from trading. And I
mm.
thought like, that's probably when the market is really good. Like, Hang Seng went up like 1,000 points.
10 grand was your initial years, so it was your 20s or it was your 30s?
It was in my late 20s, I
Late
think.
20s. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first
So
started with me.
yeah, when I first started
Okay.
with you,
Can. Yeah.
so kind of like, uh earning a lot of money in a month and stuff like that. So I kind of like lose track a little bit and things that yeah, it's so easy, and I think the market kind of like punished me for it. Yeah,
Okay. So
I think
that's
it. I think the very bad experience that I have is I still remember I still remember it very clearly that my account was up about 8 grand, about
mm,
9 grand.
mm.
When I went for a movie on the Friday when the non-farm payroll is coming up.
Oh, I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, I told you about that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I went into the movie thinking, yeah, I'll just finish the movie, close the trade, maybe 10 grand, I will be done for the month, right? So when I came out and all my position are have already stop loss, and I think I lost about besides not earning that 10 grand, I think I lost probably about uh if I'm not wrong, it's about 10 or 12 grand that day, just by going for a 2 hours movie. So yeah, that kind of like shocked me a little bit, and yeah, I kind of like take me a lot to overcome that and kind of like pay more attention and respect the market.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
And do
my
you still go to movies after this experience?
oh, I did. So I try to not go during the non-farm payroll Friday.
Okay. You know, that's the reason why I hated non-farm payroll. Yeah. You
I,
know, right?
I think it's still like, was it Yellen? I can't remember who is the Fed chairman.
Yellen
Yeah,
in pink dress.
yeah.
That's the combination that I really hated. Yeah.
So that was my first kind of lesson that
Yeah.
I kind of learned about the market.
Mm,
Yeah, the second one is kind of like never give up. So I wasn't like I have huge success at the start, and I got these big losses, and then I kind of take a while to kind of find myself again in the journey.
mm,
So I kind of drop out a few years. I kind of drop out a few years, then I came back again. That kind of stuff.
mm,
I think end of the day, I think despite sometimes we all have setbacks and losses. I think the key point is keep believing and never give up on what you think that works. because everyone will have eventually have a bad run of trades. Like you might lose 5 or 6 in a row, and it thinks that, oh yeah, I'm not cut out for this, or this strategy doesn't work, or like I'm just I'm just not I'm just not talented for trade. But I think what the basis of what Bini has given in this thing is it is not so much of flair to trading. It's more of like keeping the discipline of trading. I'm not sure whether that makes sense. Like,
It makes sense to me.
yeah, just have the discipline and have to keep believing in, if you keep doing the right thing and don't give up, and eventually you will be able to kind of work out something for yourself.
I think that don't give up is very important because you realize that when I go through all these live trades, because I mean, for me, right, going through live trades is what I really like. I don't like to go through what happened in the past. But you also realize from the community, not all of them will follow when we first talk about it, because
Mm-hmm.
our entry for tech, right, is really very early. That means that it's not where the world knows about it and it has moved up like 100% already. Then we have our entry. We have our entry very much in the early stage. That's why some people just doesn't believe that it's going to move. But when they see that it moved much higher, right, that's where we are already taking profit already. Yeah. So this is something in a mindset that I also wish to change. But it's tough because then that's human behavior, isn't it? Right. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes to really believe in that it's really going to move. Yeah.
yeah. You need
Uh,
a leap of faith, I think.
yeah. It takes a while. It takes a while. Yeah. Okay. So what we do have some questions coming in on the use of tech.
Like it's not like, oh, you sign up for this, and if you want to get another thing, you got to pay like $3,000, or $10,000 to kind of upgrade this $900 system. But
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have that hidden cross, or after that, or you want to join an exclusive chat group and stuff like that, which doesn't happen. Once you're in. It's open for everyone, and for the
Yeah.
kind of fee, I think is
I think
you
it's
could
very
go.
worth it, I have to say. Sometimes
Yeah,
I think it's so worth it that I feel like increasing the cost, but again that uh okay lah, let's not talk about this one here.
please don't increase the cost fee.
Okay, that's what all the students say. So, but again, that I have to cover my costs. But anyway, mine started off at the cheap base already. So just the last question before we go off. How during the SPY correction during April, um, I can do a rollback for you, but during April here, right, it corrected. See the orange line here. So these are the orange line here. So the orange line says that if it's below the orange line, it says that this downtrend is valid. Okay, it's still valid. Huh? But if it's above the orange line at this bar here, all right, it means that the downtrend had reversed. That means that this down would have reversed when price was here when it's above the orange line. So let me just do a rollback for you to let you see what I mean by that. Okay, just hang on for a while. Because all this, I will do it live with my students. All right, so this would be at that point of time on the 7th of April, and then it comes back down, and then this is the orange line. This was that resistance level. Not only a resistance level, and you probably can't find the resistance level at a historical level, okay? But it's just like a, how to say, it's a hidden levels that's being used by the big guys in their algo, all right? Then as long as when it's above this one, that means it goes above it, and that's where it would say that this downtrend will reverse, okay? So just to roll back a little bit, you see that was where it went above, and then price tested back to this orange line, and from there, dong dong dong, and that's where it's up. Yeah. So all this is not SPY. This is Nasdaq because we are trading mostly in the Nasdaq. but we have not had a sell signal. And if you want to have the re-entry, you have to go to the 1 hour to get the re-entry again. All right. Does tech work on all instruments, including crypto? Yes. Not the altcoin that doesn't trade by the insti. You need those instruments that's traded by the insti, and our best trade was BTC. So we had the BTC here again. Let me just roll back. All right. Okay, here. Select bar around here. Okay, so that's the orange line that you must close above in order to say that this downtrend has moved down. So let me just do a slower replay. Okay, you see multiple of orange lines here, orange line here. So to confirm that BTC is up, we need price to trade above 86 or rather 87. And that's where a lot of our community actually went in to long BTC at around this price here. So that was our entry. Okay. Then subsequently it moved. Just do a little bit faster. Maybe like that. Okay, so do you see this level 97,600? So 97,600 is the predicted support level for tech. That means that if it's ever moved down, it's coming into this level as the predicted support for tech. All right, so sometimes it just means a little bit because I think a lot of people are very kanjong to enter already. So you see, nicely it hit that 97,600 point and then reverse back up, and then tech is predicting a resistance at 108465, which happens exactly here. Okay, so all these are all live. That means that once you have tech, you can see it. So these are things that we talk about. I talk about in almost all my sessions. That means that when William has tech, he is seeing the same thing as myself, right, William?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, are you ready to sleep
I probably do my analysis tomorrow morning then.
tomorrow
So
morning, huh? Yeah, I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
so.
yeah. I,
Yeah,
I I might go for a walk and then come back and do the analysis.
yes.
Yeah, morning exercise.
Okay, that's good. Chris is also our students. He just replied that we trade BTC, Ethereum. Yes, we almost do almost anything. Stocks is something which I don't actively teach in my lesson, but once the new tech, because we are doing revision in tech, right? It's always on the constant development. Once the new tech is out, probably that's where I might change my mind a little bit to maybe go through a little bit of options with you guys. Yeah. We see how things go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
options.
Yes. Options. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.